guys have heard it before, but you guys probably haven't. Okay.
She hasn't.
Trina's excited.
The clock on the wall ticked its way inside, ticked into the creases and the corners of my brain, and it skipped like a record that was stuck, repeating the most piercing, sorrow-ridden line I'd ever heard. Scratch that, I'd ever written, because this was all my doing. My trembling hands, my hyperventilating. As I sat and I wrote the most heart-spillingly saltwater-soaked piece of my soul I'd ever put to paper. 5 pages of my inner organs laid out and mailed off to the East Coast 3 years too late. And in your reply, you called me Benjamin. You never called me Benjamin. And back home in Logan, Utah, my cousin, who wanted nothing more than to be a father, and didn't know that until he was a father, cradled 9 pounds of new perfection, of a flawless frame to finally fill the empty space between his arms. But the clock skipped. It ticked when ought to have tick-tocked. Repeating that line. That gratuitously gashing line. The saddest one that God has ever written. Because I'm sure that his hand shook when he wrote the part about a 23-year-old man having to take a 6-foot hole in the earth before his son was old enough to say the word father. We all fall on our knees sometimes. Sometimes we find ourselves losing ourselves in the arms of the past, when we ought to lose ourselves in the embrace of a friend. Sometimes we catch ourselves wondering, if only I had stayed, if only Kyler hadn't gone before he knew his father's name. We're all flesh seeking more than flesh, and sometimes we find it, and sometimes we just lose it. We lose ourselves in bottles and pills and synthetic distractions to deter us from what's important. We have to lose ourselves in the embrace of a friend. Because nobody has to be alone, but we always make ourselves to be alone. We're all here together in the entropy and the pain. And we all need a little help to fix the clocks and keep them moving forward, to keep the needles from skipping when they come in contact with our hearts. Because there are happy songs to be heard later on the record. We just have to keep listening.